And what we're looking at today is going to be triangles. And the first thing we're going to be looking at is classifying the triangles. We can do it two ways. One up here by their angles. We could have an acute triangle where every single angle inside the triangle is an acute angle. We could have a right triangle. A right triangle means that one angle of the triangle is going to be 90 degrees. Or we could have an obtuse triangle where one of the angles is obtuse. We could also classify it by its sides. We could have what they call a scalene triangle, which basically means no congruent sides. It means each side is a different length. We could have an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle has at least two congruent sides. So if I look, those two sides are congruent, and the little hash marks there tell me that those two sides are the same length. Or finally, we have an equilateral triangle, which basically means that all three sides are the same length. So when we come down here, we want to classify these triangles by their angles and their sides. So if I look right here, all of these here have a little hash mark telling me that they're all the same length. So these are all equilateral. Also, because here, if I look, each one of those is also acute. So it's an equilateral acute triangle. Now when I look here, no side is the same length. They didn't give me a hash mark or anything like this. So I know that this one has to be scalene, because no side is the same. Also looking, every one of these angles appears to be less than 90. So that means that this is scalene and an acute triangle. Now, a little bit later on down here, now they want me to draw two triangles. A triangle with one right angle and two congruent sides. Well, to make that right angle, I make that a sharp corner. And the two sides that make that right angle are going to be the ones that are basically scalene. So there, those two are my two congruent sides and my right angle. Now this one says an obtuse triangle with no congruent sides. So maybe a short line here, a really long line like this, and there's my triangle. Not a great looking triangle, but a triangle. So basically one short side, one long side, and one even longer side, and that angle right there is obtuse. Now the other thing we know about triangles when we start working with it is that all the angles inside, the sum of all of them, is going to equal up to 180. So x plus y plus z is 180 degrees. So when I look here, if I come down now to my first problem right here, I have three angles. They told me 51 and 57 and x, which I don't know. So I can put x plus 57 plus 51 is 180. Well, that becomes x equal to x plus 108 is equal to 180, because those two there give me that 108. So now here I subtract that 108, and I get x equal to 72 degrees. So that angle that's right there would now be 72 degrees. Now, if we take a look at this next one. If I look, that's my obtuse triangle. I have these three sides. So x, which is here, plus 126 plus 122 equals 180. x plus 148 equals 180. Subtract the 148, and we get x equal, we borrow 32. X is 32. Whoops, x is 32 degrees. Again, I take that 26 plus that 22. That gives me that 126 and the 122. That gives me that 148. Subtract, and that gives me that 32 degrees.